At Northfleet School for Girls in Kent, teacher and ICT coordinator Steve Puxty is using the social networking site Rafiki to run a business and enterprise project with his Year 9 students. There are more than 1,300 schools from over 100 countries registered with Rafiki. The site enables these schools to collaborate via a range of curriculum-related projects which schools can elect to become involved with. At Northfleet, their Design for You project involves designing T-shirts for partner schools that they have found and communicate with via the Rafiki network.
The school I've worked with is in Ghana. We just know that they're wanting the T-shirts for a wildlife society. They said they wanted 2 hands in a world. We thought we can't do a world because it was too complicated. So we thought we'd do a circle with 2 hands and just leaves coming down for wildlife, and obviously put the name over the top.
They had to work out the finance of the T-shirts, the costs of the printing, the cost of the shipping. They were put into mixed ability groups. So it gave everyone a chance to have a role, and even some of the lower ability students have had an opportunity to contribute to a group project.
Someone's like the team leader, we've got someone in charge of all the costing and everything, someone in charge of the designing the actual T-shirts, and communication advisor.
The site has a moderated communications hub which allows email, live chat and video conferencing.
It's social networking in a secure school environment. So the school itself signs up to Rafiki. Students can communicate with other students elsewhere in the world. Teachers can communicate with other teachers elsewhere in the world. Teachers can also share best practice.
I've definitely learnt communication skills and how to see other people that are less privileged than us.
On the finale of the project, the T-shirt company comes to the school and our students will physically print the T-shirts and get involved with the packing of the T-shirts. Social networking is definitely here to stay. Obviously, there are issues. We want to turn all of those things, whether it's Facebook, Bebo, any of these things, we want to turn them into positives. And we want to get students to be using these things in a positive way and use them as a vehicle to improve their education.
At Priory School in Portsmouth, David Rogers is using social networking sites Facebook and Twitter to gather data which he uses with his Year 8 geography students.
This is about the 4th or 5th lesson in a sequence, all about piracy and interdependence and trade.
We're linked to it because the supplies that go through the Gulf of Aden is basically coming to us or coming away from us.
I asked the class right at the start what the first 5 words that came into your head when you say pirates. And they came out with a stereotype, wooden leg and parrots and eye patch and things like that. And of course, that doesn't really bear any relation to a Somali pirate with a big AK-47. Now that they've learnt, I'm going to show them, well, actually this stereotype is quite widespread. I wanted a way in which I could provide some real data that I hadn't just made up. So I asked my Twitter and Facebook networks. This is a Wordle of all those responses. Your mission is to produce information that addresses this stereotype, okay? The outcome will be shared via social media. Through Twitter, I'm kind of connected to people who are into using technology in classrooms, other teachers, educators, loosely called a personal learning network. And with Facebook, it's more of my personal friends and contacts. But what the two provide is a slightly different twist, because the Twitter network have a vested interest in e-learning, where my Facebook friends, they'll give a slightly different response, which is quite nice sometimes to explore. I've set up a weblog that you're going to comment on and answer 3 questions. This is what I want you to think about. What do you want people to know about modern day piracy? What issues need to be considered when producing information to share on the internet? And 3, how could the information be presented? All right, those are the 3 questions I want you to look at. So if we get on with that, we've got 20 minutes.
No, they are normal.
No, they're if you saw them walking down the street, they would look normal.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Just now, as you started that, I asked my Twitter network what they would want to know about modern day piracy. Okay, and luckily, some people have replied. So we've got a few replies. This one So how big a problem is it really, or is it just media hype? So they want the real facts. This one, how much piracy actually goes on in the world at the moment through an annotated map? They get that sense of this is something that's real, and it's not only me thinking that, because pupils, I think, only see their immediate surroundings, so it's trying to open that up. And also trying to get them used to communicating with people outside of a classroom.
For the Indian Ocean.
Right, something like the majority of piracy is in and around the Indian Ocean. Yeah.
I'm just going to get you to type into my network and tell them what you've found so far. And we might get a response, but they want to know, so it's not just coming from me. I was at a conference the other day where somebody talked about Facebook and Twitter can sometimes be quite feral and some nasty things go on between pupils. And the argument was, well, we should engage with those spaces and role model how they could be used really effectively.
Money, clothes, weapons.
I certainly think students engage more with social media and also technology, but I think they're so ahead of me, let alone members of staff who don't engage with technology very much at all, that really, you know, the PowerPoints and the words are very pedestrian to them now. They want a little bit more. And I think it's trusting pupils to actually decide how to use media to support their learning and guiding them, but not being afraid to find out about a different way of doing it from pupils.